Hi there, my name's Dean, and this time I'd like to talk to you about how two small towns are dealing in different ways with seasonal tourism. Our first example takes us all the way to Scalea, Italy. You see, Scalea is a small town on the Italian Mediterranean coast, and they have a problem. The problem is that all Italians take vacations in August. That means this little community of 28,000 people swells to 300,000 for the month of August. Then suddenly you know what happens the rest of the year. So how did Scalea deal with this problem? It's a beautiful place with clear water and no tourists most of the year. What Scalea did was a few individual businesses inside the community started marketing to some place that was much colder. And that cold place is Moscow, specifically a southern suburb of Moscow called Yozhny Butovo. See, here's how it worked. One of the local real estate companies started selling condos to some of the Russians so that they could go on vacation when it's so brutally cold in Moscow. Now, right across the street's a restaurant, La Playa, and they figured out that some Russians were coming to town. What did they do? They printed up menus in Russian and in English to go along with their Italian menus. Now, all of a sudden, this restaurant is open year-round when some of the others have to close. Now, real estate is a pretty competitive business, and you know what happened to the agencies down the street. It wasn't long before they also started marketing to the same Russians in the same suburb of Moscow. Now, Russians are all over the Scalean area during the winter when it is so cold back home. It's something that works for everyone. Perhaps the example you're most familiar with is snowbirds coming down from Canada to Central Florida during the winter. They buy a lot of real estate and they add a great deal to the economy. Our second example takes us back to the U.S. and to the Smoky Mountains. You see, in Sevier County, you have the one entrance to the busiest national park in America. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park has 9.5 million visitors a year. Their problem is all these tourists are coming in the summer. So the three small communities there banded together. Instead of individual businesses, this is the government. What they did was they installed lights in November, but instead of just calling them Christmas lights, they're Winterfest lights, and there are millions of them. Now, after Christmas, those lights come down and are replaced by snow scenes and animations all over the area. Then, in late January, those come down and in turn are replaced by Valentine's lights. So this area has managed to push Winterfest all the way through to late February. The result? More tourists in the off-season. I know unless you were working with your local Chamber of Commerce, that may be an example that's hard for you to follow. However, I strongly recommend you join your chamber. It is important, and these are the kinds of projects a coordinated effort can make a real difference in. Guys, I hope some of this was helpful for you, and if it was, if you have any more questions, always feel free to contact me. I'm right there, www.deanlewis.biz. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.